has a spot for 3 things. So it's hard to see kind of, but I made it, you can pick however you want in this kind of planner, and I picked a spot so I could just write 3 things to do the next day. So I do that two times. So I do that on Sunday nights. I do my goals for the week, and I do that the night before. So depending on what I got done, I'm a big, like if I did something really awesome and it wasn't on my list, I'll write that down too and cross it out. But so income producing activities. So for me, it's bookings. I have my my binder, my follow-up binder, and I make sure I really try to get like a booking a day. So bookings, obviously, and recruiting and sales. So that's really, that it's so simple. We don't always think about it as something we need to do every single day. We kind of force that on the party, right? We kind of think, okay, well, when we get to the party, then we're going to get the sales, of course, and we're going to get the bookings, of course, and we're going to talk about recruiting and hopefully get a recruit too. But for me, I really have found that when you're consistent in the follow-ups and in those income-producing activities every single day, even if it's 15 minutes, like it really can just be 15 minutes every single day. Then the bookings and recruits and sales too come. I think I get $200 in sales every week just from follow-ups. But I'm not sure, like, definitely let's have a conversation about that, though. What were your guys's, what are your weaknesses and whatnot with your calendar, though? Because we can talk about IPAs all day, but if we can't tackle the calendar problem, then that's mostly what everybody's having a challenge with, right, is getting it all done in one day?
Yeah, I just feel like I call my office the black hole because we go in there to do one thing, and it's like 3 hours later, you know, I don't know. I just find that I want to do so much that then everything seems important, but I know that they're not all important. So today, like yesterday, I have my March fully booked. Like I have no more spots for a home party based on our family schedule. So yesterday I was able to put all my hostess packages together for March. I'm like, well, that's really awesome because now I don't have to worry about that at all. So while I was doing that, I made up a whole bunch. So I don't have to do any for probably a couple of months. And then today I did a whole bunch of, like, I'm trying to, every task I do, magnify it by 10. So I'm saving time down the road from having to do it again. Right. So, like, that's one thing that I'm trying to do better. But I don't know, I just feel like, how do you all, like everybody seems to have kids and family and busy life. So how are you rocking 4K without working full time all the time? Like I just feel like it's a 24/7 thing. Like it can consume you.
The thing is, is that we can think of a million ideas and the work will never ever end if you just keep working and keep working and keep working. So the most important thing is when you are working in your office or in your office hours or even in those 15-minute chunks is number 1, turn off social media. You got to turn off Facebook and you've got to turn off your email. And I plug in my phone and put it in the other room. And when I go back out, I've got 25 messages from whatever, but I feel good. I feel like, oh my gosh, that's awesome though. But I got like 10 calls in 20 minutes. And if you have your phone open and if you have Facebook open, if you have your email open, and if you're seeing, oh yeah, I wanted to post that in this event, and oh yeah, I wanted to remind her about this, then it's going to take you all day. It's going to take you 3 hours to do 10 calls, or it's going to take you 3 hours to schedule your sent share, or it's going to take you 3 hours. Like there is no end to the work. So the most important thing is to prioritize and actually focus on that one thing you want to get done that day. And that's why I pick 3 things a day. I pick just 3 simple things and I feel good about it at the end of the day. I feel like I can hug my kids and kiss them goodnight and not feel like, oh, my phone's going off in the other room. You know what I mean? And that's part of being a CEO and a business owner too, is that you have to know that your time is valuable and your kids' time is valuable and your husband's time is valuable. And
so when do you find time to respond to those 25 messages?
In the car picking up the kids from school. And but like I do have downtimes. So like I go 10 minutes early usually to pick up the kids from school, and then I can respond. Most of my team and hostesses text or Facebook message, so that's a huge perk. So I mean, and also when it comes down to like housework and stuff like that too, I have a system kind of during the day. So I come home, I drop my kids off at 7:30 in the morning, which I know is early for most schools, but it's just lovely. So I drop them off and I come home and I turn on the music, because first of all, I hate doing anything in the house and I just want to come in the office and hide from everything. But I turn on the music and I set my timer. And Carrie Wilkerson actually taught me that. I love her little tidbits and stuff, but I have a little timer and I set my timer for like a half an hour, and I can get my entire house clean in a half an hour if I do that only. Like if I only do that, and if I don't respond to these messages, and if I don't go in my office first, and if I don't look at the hostess packets and whatever. So timers are really helpful too. I don't want to talk the whole time. I can
Timers are actually, when I've stuck to it, I did a training that was maybe one of those that got sent to my email for something, but I also am a part of, it's called CEO of Me. She's a direct sales coach, sort of. I got connected with her really because I liked her planner. But she talks a lot about the Pomodoro, I want to say Pomodoro effect, but basically the concept is that you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. And so she talks a lot about what she, like, again, I took a training on that came to my email, and she talks about it. When I'm good with that, I do the same thing that Rachel was talking about. I'm not always good at this, but my productivity level is so different because my first 25 minutes is house tasks, because then that's off my mind. Then that 5 minutes, I can do whatever. I can play Candy Crush if I want. I can go outside and walk around the block. I haven't chose that in a while. Like things like that. And then 25 minutes. Now, again, if I do what she does, because I've heard that the top 3 from any book you read that is about time management or improving yourself or whatever, whether it's for work or for your home or whatever, you shouldn't focus on more than 3 things anyway. And so when I'm doing that well, it seems so much less overwhelming, and you feel so accomplished that the rest of the to-dos aren't as overwhelming. So I've heard a lot about that. And when I do it, it works well.
Right. And even if you do it inconsistently, like I don't always do it as consistently as I would like to, but guys, I've got like 35 dates on the calendar, like holy cow. And so if I did it actually consistently, then imagine the possibilities. But the thing is, that's where you can like continually do work all the time. So you got to just know when to let yourself be okay with not. Like pick that goal, write down your goals and be clear about it, and know that the rest is okay. And I had to like really like write that down almost, like, because there's no end to what we can do, and there's no end to the goals that we can accomplish, and there's no end to even to the PD that we can get a month. I know it's like it seemed impossible my first like 8,000 a month. And now I'm like, oh, maybe I can do 15,000. Maybe I can do 20,000. I don't know. Let's see what I can do. But you have to kind of like stop yourself almost, because you can get totally overwhelmed with family and life and other stuff, and just let it consume you. And that's not what this is about. This is about having a fun job, and this is about having something that we love, and this is about setting an example for our kids and growing people into this opportunity too, and being a leader for them, and showing them that this is possible. But
so Kate, I know sometimes, like, I feel like, not to single you up, but I know you're one of them that asked, because I feel like I don't even have a full-time job, and I struggle with that. Also, I was sharing with you how I feel like my house makes us feel like hoarders, so that's another part of my stress. I feel like that's a full-time job. But the other thing is with identifying those 3 tasks too, is starting to, if you're like, okay, I can only have so much time, really deciding what things you're doing that are priorities, and maybe some of the things that aren't. So that's one of the things that I did when I really bumped up my PV. I really found that consistent follow-up and hostess coaching was really what did it. So for a long time, those were my main things. If I was focused on those, the bookings were going to come and the sales were going to come, and I was going to be modeling that to my team. And so I really focused on those things and things involved in that. And as I was doing that, I realized some of the things I wasted time on when I eliminated them. Like, I used to love to make graphics all the time. But when I realized, like, okay, I could use something more simple or I could borrow one, there was a period where I eliminated that. I've honestly gotten back to that a little bit because I think I needed the, like, creative release of doing that. But I guess it, like, sometimes it just takes that prioritizing. Another thing from Leadership University that really hit me as far as my confidence in being a leader and being able to eliminate some of the busy work I do there is when they shared the statistic of when you look at your business, 20% of your time should be for your team and 80% for your personal business. That was really liberating for me because I always felt like I wasn't doing enough for my team. And now it's just more I don't know, that was good because I feel like I've made my contacts with them since more meaningful, and I'm trying less busy work to get them engaged. I'm focusing on those buckets they've talked about, like you've got your potential leaders, your consistent sellers. Have they rolled that out to everyone yet?
No.
Okay, so that's from Leadership Council then. I was thinking that's from Leadership University. So that's something that they shared at Leadership Council that they will be rolling out to everyone. I'll tell you guys about it now. So did calendars come out last week? Like, did they share special calendars last week?
Today they shared it on the leadership call.
Okay, so they showed us those at Leadership Council and explained to us how those are going to be a resource for us and how when we look at our time in our business and our planning for our business, that the company runs on these 3-month cycles. So we're going to have a recruiting month, we're going to have an activity month, and then we're going to have a productivity month. So we can be prepared for that cycle, that's going to be the company's focus because that's the trend in the company, in the business. And so then they also said the next step is when you look at your team communications and your action steps, who are the people you're going to focus on? So when do you focus on, and they showed us 4 buckets. You've got your potential leaders. You've got your consistent sellers, so that's your like 2 party a month people, like, or they really said anyone who you know is putting in PV any month. It might be 2 parties a month, or it might just be they're there every month. Then there's your casual sellers, which was what we used to call hobbyists, and then your new consultants. So between them sharing that and sharing that it's okay to communicate with them in different ways and in different times, then that, like I said, that liberating fact at Leadership University when they said 20% should be on your team, I feel like I was so empowered by that, and the last 2 weeks have been very different for me in releasing some of the things I realize now were a little bit busy work. I don't know if any of that even made any sense.
No,
So what's some of the busy work you left go of?
What'd you say?
What's some of the busy work you left go of?
Like constantly finding things to try and engage my team because I realized that not all of them are going to be engaged. Or trying to reinvent the wheel with trainings when home office provides perfectly good trainings. So if someone's struggling with something, I can send them a 31-minute call or I can send them a training that's on TOT. If they don't respond, then they don't really want the help. And I can come back to them the next time. I can't force them to want it. If they respond, now we have a one-on-one situation that I can manage that far easier than trying to find these bigger things that are going to engage my team. I'm back to posting a little bit less frequently on my team page because I was posting more trying to get more, but now they know there's a focused post coming. I'm trying to focus when I go live, and I'm trying to, again, mostly reiterate what's going on in the company as opposed to reinventing the wheel. Now, this is only like 1.5 weeks fresh. It's not like I'm perfect at this, but I feel a different confidence in my leadership, which then makes me more calm in doing my personal business because I don't feel like I have this weight or this constant, I got to figure this out type of mentality.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to show through on your emerging leaders too, because we're showing them sometimes that it's a lot of pressure and it's hard, and we put that pressure on ourselves. So it's good job for taking those things off your plate too. And you really do start to feel that.
Something that's really helped with my time management is I actually found a virtual assistant to help me. So I don't know if you have one of those, Kate, but she sends out all my hostess packets for me, all my thank you cards to my hostesses and retail orders, does my start swell updates for my team weekly, just things like that. And I was talking with my accountability partner, and she's like, you got to find the things that you don't have to do yourself and sub out those activities, because I have 2 young kids and I feel like I'm already away from them enough in the office. And so the things that I don't have to do by myself, you know, that can be done by somebody else, I started subbing that out. And that has been huge for me.
And so how many hours do you find yourself paying this individual to do?
How many hours do I what?
I think she said, how many hours do you find yourself paying her to do work?
She actually charges like per service
Are you
per month.
subcontracting out? Sorry, I'm driving and I'm cutting it out.
Oh, that's fine. She actually charges per service per month.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Kate?
Yep.
Okay. She actually charges per service per month. And so it's like, she's so stinking cheap. She's like $3.50 per service per month, depending what it is. And then shipping on top of that. So I have her do, I think, 8 different services for me. And so it cost me like $20 plus shipping.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah.
Do you use Jackie? Do you use Jackie?
Jackie, I do. Do you use her too, Miranda?
Not yet, because I feel like I wouldn't even know what to give her yet at this point. But a few of my friends use her and think it's amazing. They're like, I pay her $2.50, and this is what she does.
She's amazing. Oh my word. I know. I was like scared to take that jump, but I'm so glad I did.
So with the hostess packets, is that something like she has that stuff?
So I make a business supply order for her at the beginning of the season. Then she just lets me know when she's getting low on certain supplies. So I order her like catalogs, recruiting flyers, order forms, whatever. She sends out all my welcome packets to my team. So I send her all the stuff that I put in those. And then I have a Google Drive folder for her with all of my files for her to print off and use. She sends out all of my catalog requests to my home office leads. My spring catalog requests, I just did my VIP group. She's mailing all those out via Google form survey. And then like my labels for my catalogs and stuff that I put in my packets, I just mail her a package, you know, like my pens and my bubble gum and my bookmarks and whatever. I just mail her a package every so often. She just like, hey, I'm getting loan labels or whatever. I'll just send them to her.
Oh my God, that would be so awesome.
Yeah. And then we have like I don't know if you use Voxer or not, but we have a Voxer chat. And so I just let her know whenever I need hostess packets sent out. So today I sat down and got all my hostesses for March, all their information put into my Google Drive folder. And tomorrow I'm going to reach out to her and have her send out my 17 hostess packets for March.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So she doesn't log into your TOT then? You just do everything on Google Drive?
She does log into my TOT for my start swell dates. So every Wednesday she does a start swell update on my new consultant group. And she goes in and tags each lady what their start swell date is and how much they have towards their goal and how much they need to achieve that yet. So she does log in for that. And then she logs into my Facebook to post that, but that's it.
That's awesome.
And she's actually a senior consultant herself. So she knows how the business works. She used to be Melissa Feetsam's assistant. But she's a grandma and she just enjoys doing it. And so she does it for like 6 or 7 other ladies, I think.
Cool. I have someone doing all my thank you cards because I used to handwrite thank you cards, and then for a few months when I was just really growing a lot, I stopped doing it because it got so overwhelming that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. So I hired somebody to do my thank you cards, and she just does it in exchange for product. Once in a while, she says, oh, my kid's teacher's something or other's coming up, and I just order her something. But I just sat down with her and gave her a whole list, kind of like what you just shared, of things that I want her to start doing for me too. So that's a really huge thing. If you can, you can find and identify things that you don't have to put your hands on. I'm still nervous about having anyone do scent share for me and anything with my events and hostesses that way. But follow-ups and start swells and anything that gets mailed, I'm having her do.
Okay, I have a question. This just dawned on me. So there's a girl who, yes.
I don't feel if other people get chips.
It is fair for other people to get chips because it's way past your bedtime and you don't need chips. Go lay on the couch, okay? It's not fair if other people get chips, she told me, because I had chips sitting right here. I could get her to stay in bed. Okay, so there's a girl who, her older sister was one of my best friends growing up, and she's much younger, like she's 22 or 23. So her sister sells Premier, and she sold Premier for a short time. I had hoped she would become a consultant of mine, but then she joined Premier, but didn't keep it up. She's about to graduate college. She already works a full-time job, but we were chatting the other day, and it dawned on me to ask her to help me because she made a comment about missing being in the direct sales business. She's like, mostly because I just love the paperwork and I just love blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, well, what do you think of this? Plus, she's a super organized. I mean, when she was little, she would clean their whole house, like as a young kid, and like just organize everything. So our goal is for her to come over, like literally the only day she has available, not at work, because she works a full-time job already. They put her on full-time after her internship for college and is still in college. So it was going to be Sunday afternoons, but since we talked about it, she hasn't been able to. But now I feel like Renee just mentioned that, like, if I gave her my stuff and she didn't have to come to my house, kind of do the same thing. But I guess my question would be, what would you guys pay for, like, that's my other thing is, like, I don't know how much I would pay her to do that. Does anyone have any?
What I'm doing with mine right now, and because the thank you cards honestly didn't take her all that long at all. So I would get her like a product a month and that's it. But now that I'm adding so much stuff on, I told her that if she's okay with it, just to write down when she starts and finishes a task. And if it's starting to accumulate really fast, then maybe I'll pay her every 2 weeks. But if there's just a little bit of time every day in the calendar for 1 month, then I'll just give her a check at the end of the month. And I'm just thinking like $10 an hour.
Okay. That was kind of what I thought too.
I can't break the bank either, so, and she's a busy mom and her kids are a little bit older, but they're crazy into basketball and everything. So she can't come and be my assistant. And that's been my struggle is I can't get somebody to come here and do things with me like hostess packets and whatnot. But I can give her a stack of thank you cards and stamps and all that kind of stuff and business cards. And she loves doing that and she appreciates the busy work. So I would say to do something like that with her, sit down with her and just say, okay, these are the tasks that I want done. Which ones do you think that you can do? And can you just keep track of the hours and we'll just see what happens and see if it works well for both of us. And I told her too, if it seems like it's too much stuff, then just tell me and we'll take a couple things off. But if she's like a rock star at it, then not only can I add stuff on, but I've got a whole slew of 31 people that would probably love her, And then she'll be cheaper because you're making more money. But I would go that route and just ask her to keep track of hours and see, because you don't want to end up paying her like $100 a week or anything crazy. You can't do that. Right.
Well, that's what we've discussed too, because she only does have a limited amount of time, and I've told her like I have a limited budget as well. But I do like the idea of kind of presenting her with which ones would you want to do and keep track of the time. But then it's one of those things too where once you pay for someone to do that, or you take that off your plate, how much more time can be spent on other things that are going to generate more income?
Exactly. And it's a lot.
It's going to be done on time instead of like being those things that take more time than they should, and energy is like mental energy as well.
So do any of you guys have like a method to like your schedule of your week? Like, let's just say Monday you focus on your team training, Tuesday you focus on hostess coaching, Wednesday you focus on booking parties, Thursday you focus, just like, does anybody have a schedule like that works effectively for you?
I do that.
Do you?
That's
What's your daily things? Do you mind sharing?
I don't mind at all. That has been an incredible lifesaver to me, and I appreciate you guys talking about reaching out to someone else. I'm going to be honest, I never even thought about that. I figured I have to master this myself, and that's where my brainwaves have been. So I'm trying to wrap my brain around that possibility. But for me, my challenge was two things. One is I'm a fiddler, so I can come down here and organize my desk and how do I want to do my folding files, and I can get busy and get done and go. I just spent 2 hours and I did nothing productive. So I really train my mind that, okay, first things first. So what I did is I set up a schedule. Mondays is hostesses. Tuesdays is customers and anything with pink bag calls or follow-ups, 90-day check-ins, those kinds of things, anything customers. Wednesday is team and new team. Thursday is recruits, and Friday is miscellaneous, and if I'm lucky, just worry about cleaning my house. Or any catch-up stuff, or that's the day I may go grab lunch with friends or try to have my schedule be a little more flexible. But what I have found is it's helped me a ton in my mindset, because instead of going, oh gosh, I know I need to get a hold of my hostesses and pass out some packets or get those together for some upcoming parties. Oh, but that's right, I got those hostesses or those customers I want to follow up with because I know it's getting close to the 90 days. And then I'm like, I can get it all done. I have too much time. I try to work on for a couple hours in the morning, and then I can come back a little bit in the afternoon if I need to, but I'd rather get my focus a couple hours in the morning. So by me focusing on that and going, okay, that's all right. Unless it's urgent, that customer follow-up can wait till tomorrow, because that's on Tuesday, because that's the customer day. And by me setting aside and having some fold-in files behind me where I can organize according to those days and just literally file it in there for Tuesdays and for Mondays and things, it's been a lifesaver, because then my mind can focus only on the thing, the task for that day. Now, of course, if I have hostesses I need to text or I want to set a red stamp to or whatever, regardless of what day of the week it is, hostesses and any recruiting follow-ups I need to do to stay in touch, that comes first before I start jumping into what do I have to do for my hostesses in general and my customers. But by having these daily breakdown, for me, that has saved me all the time in the world. And when you guys are talking things like thank you notes and those things that I know are easy to pass on from what you're saying, that's part of my hostess day. So as I'm wrapping up orders or making sure that I'm doing things with my hostesses or touching base, have I done the thank you note to them? Do I need to send a message to the gals because they've, all the customers, because they've had their products for a week or so probably, and I want to see how things are going? Just those types of things I do on the day. For me, it's helped a ton.
That's awesome. I've been thinking about doing something like that, but I just need to set it up and set a schedule, because my brain just goes all these ways at once, and I think of all the things I need to do.
I was the same way, and I actually procrastinated doing this because I was afraid it just would be too difficult. And once I set it up and had it in front of me, we're like, okay, what is today? And even my husband jokes. He got up this morning, he's like, it's Tuesday, customer day, right? And I'm like, customer day. So even he knows starting on my routine, but it's been a lifesaver for me.
I've tried a couple of times to do that myself with setting up a different day, and I have days set up. My biggest problem with doing that is right now I still have this big bulk of stuff to do before I can get to that point where I can take it up, go over in that schedule. I'm guessing maybe did you just say, okay, today's the day and I don't care what else I have to do? Is that how you got on the schedule? Because that's my biggest problem, is trying to transition to that.
Yeah, I had to just kind of evaluate at the point that I made this list of this is what I should be doing. I have to just evaluate. Okay, I feel backlogged on everything else, but this is a customer thing, and that will wait till this is the recruiting thing, and that will wait till Thursday. I just had to start separating it once I got some systems behind me, like either folded files or small snap pockets where I can utilize those for things like out of sight, so I can grab them for that day. Some things I felt like I was pushing off a little bit initially, but I started once I did it's much easier now to feel.
I think that's Rhonda.
What was that?
Are y'all getting feedback?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting a little feedback too.
It just went away all of a sudden.
Yeah, when I hear it, Rhonda's screen lights up. But I don't hear it now.
Yeah, it just stopped. So for me, I do Tuesdays are my office day, and I just do everything office related. And I feel like it's really important for me to get out in the community and go to Chamber of Commerce events and get out and go to the grocery store and all those things, because I make a lot of contacts on the go when I'm, open for business. So I've tried doing the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday themed thing. And just because my kids are so little and you never know when they're sick or if there's a snow day or if something happens, I put a lot of guilt on myself when I did that, just for me, for this place in my life right now because my kids are so little. And instead, Tuesdays are my office day, and I don't even leave my house pretty much. And I just let go of the mommy guilt on all the other stuff. So I have a system for follow-up. Make sure to follow that. And then I have chunks of the month that I focus on different things. So like this week was actually getting and whatnot. Can you guys hear me okay or no?
It was in and out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that noise is coming from. But basically, I just focus on Tuesdays as my office day, and then I have tasks that I know I need to do, and that's where I do the top 3 things. The day before, I write down the 3 things I need to do, and that system works the best for me. So I think you just need to find something that works the best for you and really embrace it, and just know that as long as you're getting those most important things done in your business that are making you money, and
I think I really liked the idea of hiring an assistant because I work full time. So I might get home at 7 o'clock at night, and now I have, a team of 50 people to deal with that are asking me questions. I have hostesses that want this. I have customers that want to buy this. I have my HOM people, and I just feel like I'm stressed, and then my kids want this and that. So for me, it's, I would love to structure those days. It sounds like a great idea, but I don't know if I could do that. But I need some kind of structure. I kind of like the 3 things a day to accomplish. Maybe that would help me a little bit. And then hiring someone to take care of the things that I never get done that stress me too. So.
One other thing that I do along with the days of the week thing is something I learned from Cassie Heath. If anybody has heard her name, but she's a great director, and she taught me to have a 3-ring binder, which sits right here open on my desk at all times, and it has enough tabs for 31 tabs each day of the month. And then I can take my hostess cards, which for me, I created my own form. It's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that has all their information, plus when I need to get in touch with them next, or send them a red stamp or something on their Facebook event. And I'll put that behind whatever day I need to do something next. So that's part of what I get up in the morning, like, okay, today's Tuesday, customer day, but who do I need to mess with today? Who do I need to get in touch with today? And I flipped it open to the 7th. And did that. And by putting things in a folder like this, it actually helps keep me on track for specific things for that day as well. Even sticky notes of things I want to do later, or a customer I want to contact, or something very specific, and I can just put it in this book, this binder.
One thing that kind of going along with that idea, like I feel like I've seen all these ideas, and I think I was trying to hear you, Tracy. I think I struggle with the same thing. Like, it's that even though I feel like I spend so much time being unproductive, that fear of, but what if I don't focus on that today and I needed to get something done, when realistically, if I would give myself 2 weeks to change my system, I would do so well. But when I talked with Heidi Tharp, one of the things she talks about is that parking lot. Like, she says, have a notebook or a pad that literally says parking lot at the top. So if you are starting to get distracted while working on something, you write it there, and then you can file it into whatever day or time frame that goes, because our fear is to not forget it. But like, how simple is that? Because she said when, like, obviously she's not a consultant, but she said when she was making her own self-improvements in her career, that was one of the things that made a big difference for her.
Well, I absolutely do that because I also work full time.